Hi, I'm Tausha, former Chief of Staff to Opposition Leader Aaron O'Toole, currently a Vice President at McMillan Vantage. Great story. I got involved in politics because a family friend actually worked for a local MPP. And she was really great at kind of dragging me at times, kicking and screaming to different events at Queen's Park. And anytime a campaign came around, getting me involved. And it started simple as scrutineering in one general election, and then eventually I helped run a local campaign with this person. And through the process, I met a very dear friend, Aaron O'Toole, who at the time was working in the private sector, but very politically involved, and very much became a mentor. And fast forward a few years, and I started working with him after he became elected. And we worked together for several years, including through 2 leadership races, and ultimately he became the leader of the official opposition. Visibility, for sure. I think at the end of the day, those who run for elected office, they put their name, their face, and their family out into public. And in today's day and age, that's a lot, especially with social media. So I think that being behind the scenes is where I like to be, but I do think it allows a level of privacy that is not afforded to those who make it. Yes, I have actually. I initially very much wanted to run provincially, and got involved and started working at Queen's Park to that end. And then I realized I really liked being behind the scenes, and so you never say never, but I'm quite happy behind the scenes. Obstacles in politics, that seems unheard of. No, all kidding aside, I think it's a very hectic, busy lifestyle, for sure. And you win campaigns, you lose campaigns, and as much as winning is great, you often learn more from your losses. And so I think it's learning from the losses and moving forward, and not letting the losses take you down. I absolutely did not expect to get into politics. Maybe I'm a bit different from some of my closest friends in politics. I wasn't actually involved in youth politics. My undergraduate degree was in international development, and I actually traveled abroad for a few years in my undergrad and during grad school. And I was always politically interested, but I never thought I would actually get involved to the level that I have been involved. I kind of planned to go to law school and be politically engaged, but I definitely got to the political bug working on local campaigns, and I think it's really the friendships you make in politics that pull you deeply into the business. And so, I did not think I would get into politics myself, but now I can't imagine my life without politics. The team. Very proud of the team that I was able to assemble. We brought together women from all over the country, and the majority of women in leadership roles in the office of the official opposition were actually women. And I always took an approach of very much trying to remove any barriers to women who had children being involved, whether it was at the staff level or within our caucus. Very much prided myself on making it as inclusionary as possible, and whether that was women who had young children who they didn't need to stop by the office, or we had a caucus member who had a baby that used to bring a baby to caucus. I think having that accessibility is really important in terms of making women feel like they can be more involved in politics. Great question. I think in the consulting world, I always like to joke that it's politics with a bit of a work-life balance. When I was chief of staff, my days started usually 7 a.m. was kind of the first call. When the House was sitting, the days are very long. So typically I wouldn't leave the office until 8:30 p.m., 9 p.m. When the House was not sitting, we could be on tour, we could be doing a few different things, so the days varied a little bit. I always really liked the structure of when the House of Commons was sitting, just because your days were a bit more routine. But my day in life now doesn't quite start that early, so that's nice. I won't lie. But I think one of the things that draws a lot of political staffers into the consulting world is that it's a lot like politics, and particularly from a variety perspective. Like, very rarely are 2 days the same. I could be meeting clients, I could be meeting with politicians, elected officials, I could be out, pitching a client at their business. And I think that's what's really drawn me to the consulting world, is that it's a lot like politics. And not only does your political experience and your knowledge of how government works and political decision making works, but you get that variety and kind of excitement that 2 days are the same. Get involved even more, and don't hesitate to put your hand up. I think when people first get involved in politics, it's a big, exciting world, and it can be very intimidating at times. And I think while I was fortunate to always have bosses who championed me, I think I could have leaned in myself a bit more. So I think to my younger self, I'd say lean in. The short answer is I hope not. I think it's really important that we continue to get as many women, whether you're an introvert, extrovert, involved. That's the secret sauce. Everybody has a different story and a different approach, and there should be no barrier to getting involved. And I think there are less barriers than people think there are. I think the first step is just getting involved. And like I said, I'm always happy to help any woman who wants to get involved in politics. It's an incredibly rewarding career. Call me. I am always happy to chat to women who are looking to get involved, whether you want to run, whether you want to run a campaign, whether you want to volunteer. You have an important voice, an important story, and I'd love to help you realize